Okay guys, hello. How is everybody? Good afternoon. It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining bright. I wanted to come on in and do an update on the Kratom / Suboxone journey. So the last time we spoke, I did forget to mention a couple of things which I will cover in this video. You'll have to pardon me because I am driving, so I got to focus on the road and try to do this, but I wanted to do this video while the sun is still out and things like that. So let's get right into it. As you guys know, I have an autoimmune disease called sarcoidosis. I was diagnosed at the end of 2006. Went through every narcotic pain medication under the sun, from tramadol, I don't know what that was, tramadol, methadone, fentanyl, oxycodone, oxycontin. You know, they had me on like so many different things over the years because it's been almost like maybe 14 years. Okay, so just a recap. Last time we spoke, I was going to cut my Suboxone dose in half, and I was going to use Kratom to supplement that. One of the things that I could not figure out is if you can take Kratom with Suboxone. And because of my faith and because of how I was led, I had told you guys I was just going to go on ahead and try it and see what happened. Well, you know what? It worked out fabulous. I didn't have any negative interactions between the two of them. My dose was very, very small. You know, the first day I introduced it, I literally just took the tiniest amount. So the Kratom that I was using, because there's a lot of different strains, so the Kratom that I started off using was called the green mangda, and I bought the capsules. And in hindsight, I didn't really need the capsules because the capsules had like a lot more stuff in it than what I needed. So out of the capsules that I had, let me see, do I have the bottle? I just want to be able to show you guys. Yes, I do. Okay, so if you can see this is the Kratom capsules, jumbo capsules. It's the mangda. Okay, and I'll show you the size of the capsules are like this. Okay, so out of that capsule, I was able to get 3 different doses. In the beginning, I was taking just like that, you know, 1 small dose a day. And then at nighttime, I was taking something called red Bali. That is something that I neglected to mention in my last video when I told you guys I was taking Kratom for sleep and also for you know, pain and energy. I didn't remember to tell you guys that I was taking 2 different ones. So it was the green mangda during the day for energy, and it was the red Bali at night. Now the red Bali at night, because my insomnia is really, really bad from the sarcoidosis, I did have to take a full capsule of that. And since my last update, like right now, I am up to like 1.5 capsules of that red Bali. My insomnia is just insane. So I did attempt to do an update video last week. However, I had a lot of technical difficulties and it would not post. Okay, so now we're gonna call this Kratom Reloaded 2.0. But yeah, so guys, overall I'm doing really well. The transition was actually really smooth. Now I did, once I cut my dose in half on that Saturday, I did actually end up having some you know, detox symptoms. Namely, it was like, you know, the sweating thing that you normally get, and it was the you know, like you're sweating but you have goosebumps, and then the yawning, which absolutely drives me up a wall because then it makes your eyes water and it makes your nose run. And so that's like something that really just drives me nuts, is the yawning. Okay, so fast forward though, overall the transition was really smooth. The detox, dropping that, you know, half a dose, was really not that bad. It was tolerable for me. I did start to face some problems though with like my pain creeping up out of control. So then I had to start dosing the Kratom twice a day. So again, that was like two small doses out of that one capsule, which still left like a third dose in the capsule. So that's where I'm at right now with the Mang Dot. I take the 2 out of the 3 doses I can get out of the capsule. So, you know, just a very small amount. Each capsule is 1 gram, okay? So that gives you a reference range to how much I'm actually taking, which isn't that much at all, because in each 1 gram capsule, I'm getting 3 doses. So it works great for energy. Like, I cannot express enough to you guys how hard it is for me to get up and get going in the morning. Like, it is extremely difficult, you know, between the pain and then just being, you know, chronic fatigue all the time from the autoimmune disease. It was really hard. Kratom was like a lifesaver, okay, just on that alone. Like, for pain control and energy, it was like absolutely amazing. And then it really did make the detox symptoms a lot easier to deal with. Now, I have to tell you, I did use more than just Kratom to help me with my detox, because through my research, I was finding that people were saying they were using things like calm support, you know, eating better, other supplements, things like that. So I, at the time, was low on money, so I started to look up, like, okay, what is calm support? Like, what is calm support? And I found out it had things, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me, but some of the things that were in it were like potassium, vitamin C. It was like a lot of vitamins and stuff like that. So I was like, well, I have that stuff laying around the house. So I went ahead and got like my potassium. I took that separately. I took the vitamin C, which I mega dose anyway. So I mega dosed that separately. There was something else. There was like another, magnesium. Because what happened was I started getting really bad leg cramps. Now, I don't know what that was about, but it was like cramps in the weirdest places, like in the arch of my foot and stuff like that. So I did like take a large amount of magnesium to help with that, and it actually worked. Now, in terms of appetite and stuff like that, I heard a lot of people saying like they didn't have an appetite, they didn't really feel like eating much. But I also heard a lot of people say like it's extremely important to eat like as much as possible, as healthy as possible, like when you can. So I made it a point to try to keep my appetite and make sure that I was eating well. And then in addition to that, I bought something called powder greens. I don't have that on me, but I actually just went to the vitamin shop and purchased something called powdered greens, and it's basically just all the vegetables and nutrients that you need in a powder form. I would mix that up with some orange juice or lemonade. It actually tastes the best because the acidity, it really just made it tolerable. But it actually, guys, it smells like sulfur when you mix it with like a juice or something. As soon as you activate it, it smells like sulfur or something. So it smelled really bad, and it actually wasn't too good, but it wasn't horrible because I've taken like some really nasty supplements. So for me, it was like, okay, it wasn't that bad, which leads me into my next thing. Now, a lot of people were saying how nasty Kratom is and how gross it is, and like, oh, it's so hard to stomach and do this and do that. Guys, it is not that serious. Like, it's not. I'm gonna tell you, it honestly tastes like ground up green tea. Like, it was nowhere near as bad as people made it seem. Or maybe it's because they were taking so much. Like, people were taking 3 to 5 grams. I find I don't need nearly that much, and I don't know if it's because I'm just more sensitive to it or whatever, but it doesn't take me that much. But even still, you know, you could take it in small amounts, you know, one after the other, and it literally just tastes like ground up green tea. It wasn't that bad for me at all. So like really my detox going down to the 4 milligrams from the 8 of Suboxone was really super easy, actually. I didn't have too much trouble. Like I said, I did have some symptoms. The symptoms lasted, I want to say, about two to 3 weeks in terms of like the sweating and the yawning and, you know, night sweats and things of that nature. About 2.5 weeks. And after that, I stabilized. So then it got me to thinking, you know, because it seems like every night now, I start to get in like a lot of pain around the same time at night. 10, 11 o'clock at night, my pain really like spikes. And then I almost feel like I'm detoxing again. Okay. So I started to think to myself, is it because I lowered my dose to 4 milligrams, so half, and then I was taking that in the morning because I really need my pain controlled throughout the day because of my job? And then I said to myself, maybe I should have just what you guys call jumped off, you know, and just went ahead and went cold turkey, because I said it would have took like 2 or 3 weeks and I would have no detox symptoms versus what seems to be like an endless detox. Like, granted, right now it's stabilized, so it's not nearly as bad as it was the first 2 or 3 weeks, but it's still with like that increased pain at night and, you know, just that general discomfort. You know, it's not so much like the sweating and the yawning and things like that, but that pain. And I said to myself, you know, maybe I should have just like cut it all off altogether. So the last time I spoke to you guys, I told you I was going to cut down to the 4, and then the following weekend I was probably going to cut down to 2 and then jump off. I wasn't able to do that because, like I just stated, at nighttime my pain is getting really bad, and I'm actually nervous that if I try to come off of it right now, I'm going to really run into some problems, and I can't afford to be sick and down to the point where I can't get up and go to work and get my son to school and so on and so forth. With that being said, I do want to move to the 2 milligrams, so I'm trying to figure out the best way to do that, whether it be, you know, I get the first 2 days off of a following week so I can have a 5-day weekend and have that downtime to kind of let my body adjust to just 2 milligrams. And I think when I do the 2 milligrams, I think I'm going to do maybe 1 milligram in the morning and 1 milligram at night. I don't know. I haven't really decided how I'm going to work that yet, but within the next, you know, week or 2, I'm definitely going to try to go down to the 2 milligrams and then, you know, come off. My doctor was like, when he found out what I was doing, he was like, you have to be careful. Like, oh, you know, this and that, you know, they always have something to say. But, yeah, so guys, so after I got comfortable with my green Mang Da and my red Bali Kratom, you know, I also told you guys in the last video, one of the things I found in my research is that you really should rotate out your strains to prevent building up a tolerance. So sure enough, I went ahead and bought 2 other different types of Kratom. Now the 2 different types, the other 2 that I bought was another one for day and another one for night. I bought something called the it's green Malay. It just says Malay on the bottle though. Green Malay for daytime, for energy and, you know, pain relief and stuff. And red Borneo for night. Guys, the red Borneo by far is my favorite. I love the red Borneo. The red Borneo is like really good at pain control, and it's also really good for helping me sleep. Like, it works better than the red Bali. And I remember thinking to myself, I really wish I could take this all the time, like, you know, not having to rotate out the strains, because it works that well. It works so well that when I wake up in the morning, like before I even take my 4 milligrams of Suboxone or anything else of my supplements, it like, I wake up pain free, which is like amazing. And the red Borneo is the only one that does that. The red Bali doesn't do that. I still wake up in pain when I have to take the red Bali at night. Also, the red Bali, I have to take a lot more of it to be able to get to sleep. Let me show you guys while I'm at this red light. Okay, so I have my my Malay right here, and then I have, I don't know if you guys can see that because the sun is shining, my red Borneo, my red Borneo that I take at night. Okay, and I alternate every other day. So one day I take the Mangda and the Bali, and then the next day I take the Malay and the Borneo. So now that I have a good idea of like how well my body is tolerating the Suboxone and the Kratom, and like, you know, how well my body does with the Kratom for pain and stuff, now I'm actually going to start ordering the good stuff offline now that I know it actually works for me. Sorry, I'm thirsty. So I'm looking forward to that because I know the quality is going to be better, because right now I'm getting my Kratom from, you know, the local smoke shops or whatever, which kind of like makes me cringe because I don't really want to be in there. But it's the only place that I can get it. Like the natural food stores and stuff like that, they don't sell that. I gotta hurry up. I'm at 16 minutes. Okay, so yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. I am doing really well. The Kratom is really good for pain relief. I am having to dose twice a day now, and it doesn't matter if it's the Malay or the Mangda. I have to take, you know, that little bit of a gram each day, like twice a day during the day, and then I take the red at night.